So there's a lot to the metric system and units, and we're going to focus on the bits that you need for physics. We're going to start off thinking about what we call the fundamental units of physics. And we're looking at a quantity, the unit, and the abbreviation. And the quantity is the thing that's being measured. The unit gives us how it's measured or calculated. And on the abbreviations, those are what you'll see after the number or the quantity. So the units also provide a clue for how to solve the problems if you keep track of them. So for length or distance, you're going to end up with meters. Mass is kilograms. Time is seconds. And you will see other units, but you want to get those units to meters, kilograms, and seconds, or some version of those to do the calculations. And here are some derived units, and this is when you put things into an equation with the kilograms, meters, and seconds, how they turn out. And so for speed or velocity, we have meters per second, and for acceleration, we have meters per second squared. Weight is a force and not a mass. Weight and mass are different. Weight is a force, and so it's going to be measured in newtons. Energy is measured in joules, and if you look in the column with the abbreviations, it shows you what those really are in the fundamental units. Power is a watt, and momentum doesn't have a special name. It's a kilogram meter per second. And just keeping track of these will help you know if you've done your calculations correctly. So when we talk about units, we have to talk about the metric system. And the quick reminder, there's in 1 meter, you have 1,000 millimeters or 100 centimeters, and it is 1/1000th of a kilometer. So it takes 1,000 meters to make a kilometer or 1,000 grams to make a kilogram. And the prefixes are very fixed as to how you do it. If you're going to do the metric conversions, you can't forget the ones that are based on either 1/10 or 10, the deci and deca, and move up and down the stair steps, depending on which way you want to go to do the conversions. So here's an example of a quick conversion. You want to go from centimeters to meters. You are going to end up dividing. So you have 45 centimeters. Put it over 1, because you can put anything over 1 and you don't change it. And we know that there is 100 centimeters in a meter. And we arrange it so that the centimeters cancel and we're left with meters. So we end up with 45 divided by 100, and it's 0.45 meters. And hopefully that makes sense, because 45 centimeters is smaller than a full meter, so it makes sense that it would be a decimal number. And then let's go the other direction. We're going to go from kilometers to meters. And if you have 37 kilometers, how many meters is that? So once again, put that first number over 1. The next one that you're going to multiply by, you set it up so that the kilometers cancel and you end up with meters. There's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And so you end up with 37,000 meters is equal to 37 kilometer. And hopefully that makes sense. There's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So you're going to have a whole bunch of meters to make 37 kilometers. Now when things get a little bit more complicated and you have some of the derived units, you end up doing something called dimensional analysis. And you've seen this in chemistry. You can do it however you like with the train tracks or setting it up. The important piece is setting up these ratios so that the right quantities cancel out, or the right units cancel out. So we're going to change our speed of 55 kilometers per hour into meters per second. And so we have 55 kilometers per hour, and I set it up as 55 kilometers over 1 hour. And I want to get rid of the hour and change it to seconds. And conveniently calculated these things enough to know that there's 3,600 seconds in an hour. And then I know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So I set it up so the kilometers cancel, the hours cancel, and I do the multiplication and division and end up with 15 meters per second. We won't have a whole lot of converting just for the sake of converting, but you do need to be familiar enough to go millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. Those are the big ones right there. All right. Bye-bye.